Over 4 billion years ago, Earth as we know it formed, and it's estimated that we as humans have only been around for 5 to 7 million years of that. In the grand scheme of things, we are but a small blip in Earth's history. Earth is our home, and at this point in time, it's the only home that we have, as we have not found any other planet that is inhabitable. But let's be honest here. We treat the planet like our own personal dumpster, and over the last few hundred years, we've severely polluted the place that we call home and have had no qualms of stripping it of its resources. Earliest signs of pollution date back to the conquering of the Incas in 1532 by the Spanish conquistadors, which started the colonial period of South America. Thus began the smelting of silver and increased lead levels in the Cocaya ice core. Because atmospheric chemicals are preserved in lake sediments and ice caps, it's easy to chronologically keep track of the waves of pollution we have caused. By far, the largest global contributor has been the Industrial Revolution, which increased product manufacturing and put an emphasis on factory work over farm work. With large-scale manufacturing comes a significant increase in air pollution, as air pollution is mostly created by people due to emissions. In this case, factory emissions, but as society progresses, so do the types of pollutions. Car emissions, planes, and the use of aerosol cans are all man-made sources of pollution. There are things in our day-to-day lives that we do that are also bad for the environment, and we may not even know it. Things like overuse of plastics, as food packaging makes up almost 70% of household waste that ends up in landfills, and plastic itself decomposes over a long period of time. This means things like single-use plastics are a big no-no, as it contributes to the landfills. Paper waste is also a problem, as remember, paper comes from trees, and more trees are being cut down to meet market needs. Trees are also a large contributing factor to helping clean the air, so less trees is not good. Meat consumption is also harmful for the environment, as methane gas is largely produced by cattle and is one of the main gases that contributes to the greenhouse effect, which results in atmospheric temperature increases. Even the use of wet wipes contributes to the number of microplastics in our waterways, as they are not actually flushable, no matter how biodegradable they claim to be. Now you may be thinking, how can I help with the problem that has been forming for the last few hundred years? It's quite simple, really. All you have to do is switch to more sustainable options to help combat or at least slow the exponential growth that we're now seeing with our global pollution levels. The most well-known act of trying to be more sustainable would be the old reduce, reuse, recycle method. By reducing or minimizing your waste, you can help less waste keep out of landfills. There will always be alternatives out there if you're seeking to make changes. Small things like switching out your use of paper towels and single-use plastics for options like cloth towels and reusable straws is a good example, and making the conscious decision to decline an offer of a straw with your Starbucks order can also be a way to reduce your waste. Another option, which some may be opposed to, would be the decrease in consumption of animal products, particularly meat, as farms with cattle release high levels of methane gas into the atmosphere. Choosing to alter your purchases by consciously looking for products with environmentally friendly ingredients like household cleaners or even making your own cleaners at home can also be a step towards sustainability. Growing your own food could be another option that contributes to your local ecosystem. Instead of going out and buying herbs or vegetables, you can grow them in your backyard, which can also create the fertility of soil as it helps the soil itself. Conserving water is also a very obvious choice, as believe it or not, our water supply is not infinite, and only 3% of the world's water supply is fresh water. Simple tasks like turning off the water faucet as you brush your teeth, and if affordable for your lifestyle, switching to a low-flow toilet to reduce your water consumption. This last option may also not be something you are able to do, as it involves buying items at a higher cost. What I'm referring to is known as fast fashion, where clothing becomes fast, disposable, and cheap. Though clothing that is mass-produced is more affordable, it also leads to clothing waste, and the rate of disposal is not keeping up with the availability of places to put all of this excess waste. Instead, try buying from small businesses may be cheaper than shops like Shein, Romwe, or other fast fashion shops. We have only been given one planet, and I don't think that it's really that much of a hassle to try to live a more sustainable lifestyle.